Letzte Spiel sollte ich sagen, schon mal ankündigen. Sobald wir die Siegerehrung durch sind, werde ich mich kurz mit Max Wiebler unterhalten dürfen und dann das Herren-Einzel nochmal ein Leckerbissen ganz zum Ende.
So, as two-time beaten finalist Mark Schwebler is interviewed on centre court, we can look forward to the last of our finals this afternoon. It's men's singles, and the two-time defending champion Chou Tien Chen of Chinese Taipei up against the number 11 seed Scott Evans from Ireland. For Scott Evans, this is his third final of the year. For Chou Tien Chen, this is his third consecutive final here in Saarbrücken. His second final in 2 weeks, because of course Chou Tien Chen won the French Super Series last Sunday. What a match that was in Paris. And what a match he had yesterday in his semi-final as well. Yesterday, Chou Tien Chen had to defeat the number 3 seed Tian Hao-wei. 3 games needed. In fact, he came back from 4-11 down in that third and deciding game. So, as the court officials make their way onto court, Jens Koster of Germany and Ian Counter from the United States of America. The players waiting in the wings, the nervous final few minutes to recompose the thoughts, think about the game plan. So the arena plunged into darkness, waiting for the arrival of the 2 finalists.
Scott Evans aus Irland.
The first player announced onto court is the number 11 seed Scott Evans of Ireland, trying to become the first ever Irish player to win a Grand Prix gold title. A 10th career final for the man from Dublin. And here the defending champion, the number 2 seed Chou Tien Chen, won here for the past 2 years, beating Marc Schwiebler, the #1 German, in the final of both those 2 previous occasions. So taking into account the fact that he's won the title for the past 2 years, and here he is in the final once again, it means that Chou Tien Chen is on a 17-match winning streak here at the Bitburger Grand Prix Gold. That really is quite remarkable. Well, this is the only of our finals this afternoon where the players have met each other previously. This will be the 3rd meeting between these 2 players. The first 2 occasions were both won by the defending champion. So here Scott Evans really has his work cut out. 27-year-old, and although born in Dublin, now living in Copenhagen. Moved to Copenhagen actually 9 years ago. So speaks Danish as well as English. Gone up to a career high of 35 in the world ranking. Achieved that last week, so he's enjoying his 2nd week at 35. Prior to this year, a couple of quarterfinals here at the Bitburger Grand Prix Gold, but this is a huge step forward for him. I know it's the 3rd final of the year for Scott Evans, won in Brazil and beaten finalist at the Bulgarian International as well, but to be in a final of a Grand Prix Gold tournament really is a huge step forward. So Chou Tien Chen, 24 years of age, and he too has gone up to a career high. He's burst into the world top 10 after his victory in Paris last week. He's gone up to number 8, up 5 places. And this man really is riding the crest of a wave, playing brilliantly last week in Paris, beating Wang Zhiming in the final. Here, as I say, having to come back from a really fairly dire situation in his semi-final against number 3 seed Tian Hao-wei, 4-11 down before winning in 1 hour and 5 minutes, 21-19 in that deciding game. Well, for Scott Evans, the only seeded player he met was Hasina Sanil Pranoy in the semi-final yesterday. And I'm absolutely delighted to say that Pranoy has joined me in the commentary box. And first of all, commiserations on that semi-final yesterday. We're not going to talk about that because I know I've seen you play better than that. But wonderful to have you here and to give us an insight into both these players. When we get into the match, I want to ask you about some of the tactics. But as the players get ready for the start of this final, I'm sure you'll agree the nerves will be jangling, because I know earlier this year you won your first Grand Prix Gold title. I think it was your first ever title, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was my first. That was my first title in my career, basically, and that too GP Gold title. So I know how tense these both guys would be, especially Scott Evans, because he's playing for the first time Grand Prix Gold finals. But I don't think so. Tien Chen would be really tense, because last week he has won the French Open and he has won this title 2 years consecutively. So I think it's more on Scott Evans today.
So the final gets underway. Wonderful smash from the defending champion. Well, I suppose as underdog, though, Scott Evans, I mean, he's got nothing to lose. He can play with the freedom of knowing that he's not expected to win, so give it everything and just see what happens.
Yeah, that's one view of thinking. But I guess when you're playing, you might really think that, this is your chance to win it. So you might end up doing so many things in that anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good point. Well, Scott Evans looks a little bit nervous to me at the start of this final. That would be fully understandable. Oh, my goodness. That's outrageous. Wonderful control at the net. Yeah. Look at that. Nigh on perfection.
Yeah.
Beim Film das Blitzlicht auslassen will.
Good rally. Oh, the lucky net cord this time, going in favour of Scott Evans. Well, didn't really seem to stay with the shot there, Chou Tien Chen. And Prannoy, I guess the net play in men's singles of absolute paramount importance. If you can get a tight spinning net shot, you force the short lift, and then you've got the opportunity to try and go for that winner.
Yeah, I mean, if you see in Super Series level, you got to have a really good net. You have to be really pouncing on the net, basically. And it's not important to be so close because you'll have a lot of mistakes happening if you're trying for that. And Super Series level, you can't afford that mistake.
Yeah. One of the things I noticed yesterday when you were playing against Scott Evans was that he rarely actually plays back to the net. Most of the time he's lifting it. Is that a fair tactical analysis? Is that what you noticed when you were on court against him?
When I was playing yesterday, I felt I was moving really slow. So he was actually taking advantage of that. He was dragging me to the front court and then again pushing me to the back line. So I think he played really brilliantly yesterday.
Yeah. Looked awfully calm as he played that, Chou Tien Chen. Look at that lovely block off the defence. Moves forward, good balance, good poise. He's a strong physical specimen, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really strong. I mean, see his legs. Like, I've never seen such a legs.
Yeah.
He's too strong.
Very powerful. Good mover. I noticed yesterday how well he changed direction, and that's all come from the power in the legs, presumably.
Yeah, if you see, the legs are really strong. That's why he's got a really good jump smash, and he executes that really well.
Oh yeah, that's nicely done. He was playing a lot of those yesterday, was Scott Evans. I thought he was playing a more aggressive game against you in the semi-final than I've really seen him in a long while. Seems really motivated for this. That's good. That proves your point. Throws my theory out the window. Just overdone it. Well, surprised look from Scott Evans, and he's just going to ask the umpire if he saw that. Well, from where we're sitting, we're looking virtually straight down that line, and I thought it was a very good call by the line judge. Well, if he was angry about the line call, it's worked in his favour. A little bit of extra oomph in that smash. Yeah, well played by Scott Evans. He's definitely playing back to the net more, Evans, than he did against you yesterday.
I think I gave him more confidence. But yeah, he's playing more to the net from the front court. He's not lifting, like not even one was a useless lift or a waste lift. It was all perfect ones. And today also he's doing it really well.
Well, a little word from Scott Evans to the umpire saying, is he moving before I've struck the serve? Well, obviously not, otherwise the umpire would have called it as a fault. It's gone long. Yeah, really having to change direction there. It was good defence from Chou Tien Chen. Yeah, and again. That is amazing defence from the defending champion. Well, we talked about the power in the legs. Power in the defence as well. Most players would have had to block that. But for Chou Tien Chen, no such problems. 2-point advantage here at the mid-game interval of the opening game. And Pranoy, I want to ask you, 2 players on court don't have a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is this the future? No coaching. How would you react to that?
Yeah, even in Indonesia, I was without coach. So I know. I mean, sometimes it helps. Sometimes you need to think about what you're playing. Sometimes the coaches maybe keeps telling you what to do, but it's upon to you. Like, you're playing on court, and you need to decide what to do at that point of time. So yeah, I don't know if it's the future or not, but surely the players are doing really well. I think without coach it's tough because the coaches can really see what you're what mistake you're doing on court, but you won't be knowing when you're playing at that point of time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe setting a trend. Yeah, flatter smash there. That's good variation from Chou Tien Chen. Missed it. A 5-point advantage now for Chou. This is where Scott Evans has to be very, very careful. He needs to break this little run. It's going wide. Interesting. Scott Evans doing exactly to his opponent what his opponent had done to him. Off the smash, lifting.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good technique because maybe 90% of players run straight forward after the smash. So when you lift it, it's really tough to go back and again get that shot again. Maybe or like smash it again. It's really tough. So it's really good that Tien Chen is playing it very oftenly these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really effective.
Yeah, well, the defending champion will be disappointed with that smash. And forced his opponent out of position. Oh, good rally and well worked by Chou Tien Chen. Oh, it's a good smash from Scott Evans. Yeah, we're beginning to see that more and more in men's singles, aren't we? The smash, the body smash. Yep. Oh, it's cool, good. Chou Tien Chen doesn't like the call. Oof, looking at that again, I can understand why. No, he's missed it. That's good movement by Evans. Going wide. It's almost sometimes, to me, he knows, Scott Evans knows he should be playing back to the net. And it's almost he's forcing himself to do it. He doesn't look comfortable, does he? Sometimes coming forward.
His way of playing is maybe to lift, but he knows that at this point of time it won't work because Tien Chen hits really hard. So he wants to keep it maximum to the net, and he's not used to it. So, like for us, it seems a little bit awkward, but yeah, he has to do it right now. Otherwise, it's tough for him to stay on match.
Oh, that one's gone just long. just wide. Well, twice he says. Well, I think the line judge got it right twice.
Yeah, I think it was out. It was.
Oh, my goodness me. Imparted topspin on that defensive shot. It went wide. How cheeky was that? Oh, yes. That's why he's got to have the courage to play back to the net.
Yeah, he has to. I mean, there's no other go because Tien Chen is really looking good behind the court. Like,
Yeah.
he's really consistently playing those drops and tosses. So he has to be really good at the net.
Yeah, forced himself again and again to play that net shot. Oh, it's landed well in. What on earth was he thinking? Well, I think he may have exchanged one or two words with the fans there. Three game point opportunities for the defending champion. Only needed the one. That was brilliantly finished off by Chou Tien Chen. 21-17 in 18 minutes of play.
Scott Evans mit einer Top-Leistung im ersten Satz hat sich da gewehrt. Und wir freuen uns auf Durchgang Nummer 2.
Look at that movement. Leapt from the base position.
Wenn die Spieler noch eine kurze Pause haben, ist hier jemand in der Halle, der früher auch richtig gut, was heißt früher, sicher heute noch ganz gut mit dem Schläger umgehen konnte, aber sicher mit dem Tennisschläger. Wir begrüßen die Wimbledon-Siegerin Claudia Konikic. Hallo! So, dann nochmal einen aufrunden Applaus für beide Spieler. Noch einmal Energie aus der Halle für die beiden Jungs auf dem Feld.
Well, it appears they've lost the shuttle after the opening game, but a new shuttle will be taken. And Chou Tien Chen, one game to the good, the number 2 seed from Taipei. 21-17, that opening game. Good defence from Evans. Oh, and then he pushes it long. Now, I've been surmising or thinking for the last couple of days, 3 or 4 days that I've been here, there's a bit of a drift in this arena. I think the shuttle is flying a little bit faster, going towards that far side of the court. Is that right?
I guess
not much.
Yeah, there is a little bit drift, but yeah, not so much. Like
Okay.
yeah, it's quite obvious in all the arena you play, there would be some amount of drift.
Yeah, I know the players have been telling me that they're very happy with the playing conditions here. They say it's a nice arena to play. Well, immediately after that rally, Scott Evans turned round and looked up towards the crowd in front of me. Did somebody call something out then? I'm not sure. He was obviously distracted and disturbed by something. Hope it wasn't us.
No.
It's gone long. Yeah, when you're using that body smash, I guess aiming slightly towards the forehand side is the favoured positioning of it, is it?
Yeah, because these days everyone is so strong in the side defense. Everyone has learned to dive and take the shuttles. So there are very so many chances of taking points in the body line. So it's a really nice shot to try in between the rallies. And yeah, Scott Evans is doing it.
Yeah. Cricket expression there, wasn't there? Body line. Yeah, good. I think we'll have that in badminton. No, that's landed. They've both made dreadful errors of judgment into that deep backhand corner on the far side of the court. That's way in. Who too is that? I think there's more of a sideways drift now.
Might be. I don't know about today. It might be. I think it's there because you can see there are a lot of shuttles. Both of them are leaving to the side courts and both of them are coming so much inside.
Yeah. I did wonder earlier on today. I thought there was a lot of shuttles going out on the forehand side,
yeah.
From the far side of the court,
Yeah,
which would
right.
all make sense, wouldn't it? That there is that
There is a slight bit
Yeah.
of drift.
sideways drift. Now, this is a good little spell by Scott Evans. 5 straight points. Good backhand. Oh, and what a lovely net shot. I think it was the World Championships I watched Scott Evans earlier this year in the last 16 against Lee Chong-wei, the number 1 seed, and of course the silver medalist in the end. Ooh. Doesn't like the call again. No, I thought that was in.
Possible to change him?
Oh, he's asking the umpire if we can change the line judge. The umpire isn't having any of it. Yeah, I was saying about Scott Evans when he was playing that last 16 match of the World Championships, and I was commentating on it, and I think we were talking about the fact that very, very rarely did he play the net. And yet now he seems far more willing to do so. I suppose that part of it may have been just the reluctance to play against Lee Chong-wei at the net, because Lee Chong-wei's net shots are absolutely brilliant. So maybe against different player, different tactics.
Yeah, it helps, really helps. With so many players, you need to really dominate on the net. And so many players, you need to really push them to the backcourt because there are so many who are really good at net. We can't be playing much into the net and taking risks. So for them, we have to play to the backcourts and try our luck. So, but I guess today he has to stick with this plan. playing really well. At this point of time, I think should not lose focus and give away 3-4 easy points right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Tight spinning net shot, force the lift, and on that occasion it really was the only option for Scott Evans. Once you force that lift, you men's singles players, yeah, have such variety of shot, you just don't know what's coming. Well taken. A little look from Evans towards the umpire. Did he play that before it went over the net? If you ask my opinion, I don't think so.
No.
But we'll maybe see it again. Look at that movement, though, from Chou. Yeah, nice racket skills. There's the defence again, lifted. Finds the line. That's brilliant. What a wonderful way to get back level from Chou Tien Chen. Oh, quick coming forward. Oh, he made the backhand kill look easy, and I can assure you it wasn't. 5 straight points to the defending champion. Well, I don't think you can blame the line judge for that. I'm sure that was the drift. He was going to leave it, then he realised it was going to land in. Tried to play it. He looks at the line judge as if to say, if you hadn't been calling them out. I think the line judges done a good job today.
I think it's a very tough job handling the lines.
Yeah, I'd hate to do it. I think they do a wonderful job in general. It's gone long, and on a run of 7 straight points from 4-8 down. The defending champion, Chou Tien Chen, storms back to be in the lead at the mid-game interval here in the second game. 11-8 the scoreline. Well, as far as Scott Evans is concerned, I think he has to work hard at keeping his composure. Scott Evans, I think one of the very few players that I know in World Badminton who's received a black card, a disqualification. Happened back in 2011. And I know he's publicly said that that incident has helped him become more calm on court and more thoughtful, but he needs to use that thought process and that calming influence right now, because this is an extraordinary run. 9 straight points. It's almost as if, well, the defending champion has gone up a gear. He's just found an extra level. He seemed to be jogging along and doing okay in the second game, but suddenly is now playing with an intensity that we didn't see in the early stages of the second game.
Yeah, I told you when the Evans was leading 8-4, the next couple of points are really crucial because yesterday when I was leading 8-2, 8-3 in the first game,
yeah,
and that just couple of points is really crucial. If you get that 11-point break, then you are halfway into the first game or second game. But yeah, if you don't get the 3 points, then you are really away from that first game.
Yeah, 16-8. 12 straight points. 13 straight points. It's extraordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah, good power play. Body line smash. Yeah, no wonder Scott Evans shakes his head. What do you do? What can you do? Finally, the run is broken, but 14 straight points. And it really has been the decisive move, surely. Well, I suppose as a player, you've got to say to yourself, with my opponent can win a run of points like that, I mean, there's no reason why I can't.
Yeah, it's true, but it's tough to think like that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate that. I do appreciate that, but that's what you have to hang on to.
You have to hang on. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to hang on. You never know when the game changes and when the player's mindset changes. So it really happens in just maybe in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And you will be like leading 10 points, as you just now see Tien Chen Zhou leading 10, 12 points in just 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's all rushed through now to match points. 10 of them, to be precise, for the defending champion. First time of asking 3 consecutive titles here at the Bitburger Grand Prix Gold for Chou Tien Chen of Taipei. Spare a thought for Scott Evans. He's had a wonderful tournament, he really has. And I know that he will be disappointed right now, but given time, he should be very, very proud of what he's achieved this week in Saarbrücken. This is the final rally.
Würdigen Sieger aus China und einen ganz tollen Konkurrenten aus Irland. Wir danken beiden Spielern für ein wunderbares
17 of the last 19 points going to Chou Tien Chen. That is incredible. And it was all due to the very, very good play of the now 3-time champion. 2 titles in 2 weeks. Well, nobody at Super Series last week in Paris knew how to deal with the form of this young man. The 24-year-old from Chinese Taipei adds another title, an 8th title, to his list of achievements in world badminton. For the record, 21-17, 21-10 in 33 minutes. Well, as we wait for the prize presentation, may I just say what a pleasure it's been to have Pranoy sitting next to me. Thank you very much for your insight into the men's singles, and maybe you'll be able to join us again. Of course, we will hope to be commentating on you next time rather than have you in the commentary box. But thanks very much
Thank you
indeed.
so much. Thank you so much for calling me. I'm like really happy.
So the players, the 2 finalists, come forward for the prize presentation. And I can tell you a wonderful sporting gesture by Pranoy sitting next to me, applauding both players. And for a man who suffered the disappointment of semi-final defeat yesterday, that really is lovely to see. Well, I wouldn't mind betting that the number 11 seed, Scott Evans from Ireland, may go up to a new career high when the world rankings are published next week. His first ever Grand Prix Gold Tournament final. The third final of 2014. Couldn't replicate what he did in Brazil. But he's up against the man who was very much in form, is very much in form, the number 2 seed, Chou Tien Chen. 2 titles in 2 weeks and a third consecutive title here at the Bitburger Grand Prix Gold.
Natürlich ein bisschen Freude auch über den Chat, ist doch klar. Und jetzt nochmal Fotos von beiden. Auch mit Frankie zunächst. Bitte bleibt noch auf dem Podium.
So as the players pose for the photographers, a quick recap on what has happened today. All Chinese women's singles final went the full distance, with Sun Yu coming through in 3 games against the qualifier He Bingjiao. And then in the mixed doubles, well, the 2 17-year-olds, Zheng Shiwei and Chou Chen of China, just too good for Prasetya and Sofika. 24 minutes, that mixed doubles final in favour of the Chinese youngsters. Men's doubles, well, China once again coming out very quickly indeed. They beat last year's beaten finalists. So 2 years, Rasmussen and Sorensen have had to settle for second best here at the Bitburger Grand Prix Gold. Then 2 unseeded pairs in the women's doubles with Wu Dongni and Yu Xiaohan getting the better of the Russians, Bolotova and, of course, Askaya, Russia. And as we've just seen, Chou Tien Chen, a third consecutive title here at the Bitburger Grand Prix Gold. The Bitburger, the 9th of 10 Grand Prix Gold events of the year. The last Grand Prix Gold will be in Macau from the 26th to the 30th of November. I do hope you'll be able to join us for that. But in the meantime, we can look forward to 2 more Super Series events. The China Super Series will take place in a little over a week's time, and that will be followed by Hong Kong. So plenty more badminton to come. But in the meantime, as one of the officials is interviewed here in the arena. That concludes the badminton for today. Thanks for your company. Bye for now. Hello and a very warm welcome to the German city of Saarbrücken for finals day at the Bitburger Grand Prix Gold, the 9th of 10 BWF Grand Prix Gold events throughout 2014. I'm Jill Clark, and as I say, it is finals day today for all 5 finals for you this afternoon. We're starting with an all-Chinese women's singles. Sun Yu, the number 4 seed, will be up against the qualifier, He Bing Jiao. Then we'll have the mixed doubles and 2 17-year-olds from China, Zheng Shiwei and Chou Tien Chen, up against Prasetya and Salfika of Indonesia. The Indonesians trying to become the first ever players from their country to win the mixed doubles here. Then we'll have the men's doubles final, and Wang Zhang from China in their 3rd final this year up against last year's beaten finalists from Denmark, Rasmussen and Sorensen. Then we'll have women's doubles and 2 unseeded pairs, Chinese pair Hu Dongli and Yu Xiaohan up against a Russian pair. What a surprise they've been this tournament, Bolotova and Possetskaya. And then we'll end with the men's singles. Scott Evans will be trying to become the first Irish player ever to win a Grand Prix gold title. He's up against the 2-time defending champion, Chou Tien Chen, obviously going for his 3rd consecutive title, and today appearing in his 2nd final in 2 weeks. Of course, a week ago, last Sunday, he won his 1st ever Super Series title in Paris, the French Open. Well, please don't be alarmed. We're just bringing on the players in one moment. A spectacular entry of the number 4 seed, Sun Yu, the 20-year-old from the seaport of Dalian in Liaoning province in northeast China. What a wonderful win she had yesterday against the reigning world champion. But if you're talking about talent, how about this young lady? She's come all the way through the qualifying. He Bing Jiao, the left-hander who won the gold medal at the recent Youth Olympic Games in Nanjing. So 2 Chinese players means that we are guaranteed a 5th title here at the Bitburger Grand Prix Gold for China in the women's singles discipline. So our umpire for this, Mark Quinnard from Belgium. The toss of the coin, the first of his duties. And then the players have a choice of 1 or 3 options. Choose which end to start, or choose to serve, or choose to receive. So the number 4 seed, there she is, Sun Yu. Very tall lady indeed, 183, that's just over 6 foot tall. She's gone down 6 places in the world ranking this week to 31, but do not pay any attention to that. She's only got 7 tournaments towards her world ranking. The optimum number, of course, is 10 to give a realistic indication of a player's capabilities. This is her second final of the year. She reached the final at the Swiss Grand Prix Gold event, which, of course, was the 3rd Grand Prix Gold event of the year. So to the 17-year-old, the qualifier, He Bingjiao, and I had the pleasure of watching at the recent Youth Olympic Games in Nanjing, and what a talent, beat the world junior champion Akane Yamaguchi in the final to take the gold medal at those Youth Olympic Games. This is her second international tournament final. It's quite staggering to think that she reached the final of the Vietnam Grand Prix last year. Won the title there, having come through the qualifying as a 16-year-old. Really is a precocious talent indeed. Well, as I say, coming through the qualifying, it means that the left-hander has played 5 matches to get through to today's final. She's been on court for 2 hours, 52 minutes. Her opponent has only played 3 matches, but has been on court just 10 minutes less. And that's an indication of the tough matches that the number 4 seed, Sun Yu, has had on her way through to today's final. Quarter-final against the number 8 seed, Linda Weni Fanatri, went the full distance. That was 1 hour and 9 minutes. And then yesterday, against the number 1 seed, the new world champion, Carolina Marin, the left-handed Spaniard. Well, it was 2 straight games, but it was tough. 2 games, 21-19, 21-14. So for this tall lady, a second left-hander in succession to play against, semi-final and final. Well, as far as the youngster is concerned, the 17-year-old, she's already disposed of 3 seeded players back-to-back. In the second round, the number 5 seed, Ip Pui Yin of Hong Kong. In the quarterfinal, the number 3 seed, Zhang Beiwen, who was incidentally playing 4th tournament in 4 weeks. That went the full distance, 3 games there. And yesterday, she disposed of the number 2 seed, Michelle Lee, from Canada, the Commonwealth Games gold medalist.
On my left, Sun Yu, China. He Bingjiao to serve, level, play.